Good morning, Saints. Y'all see Greenleaf last night? Woo! Okay, for the followers of Greenleaf, this was quite an episode on last evening. They are revealing things that we've been curious about since the very first episode, really. Certainly the first season. But we'll get to all that. It starts off with May is sending out emails to all of her relatives, all of the family, all of her children, her grandchildren, including Zora. Everyone announcing that they are divorced. That family is dissolved. Well, at least the parents are split up, right? Seems like the kids take it. I mean, particularly Jacob. I think he was kind of holding out hope that they would work it out, figure it out in kind of way. And that whole marriage thing. We'll discuss their marriage in a little bit here. Okay. Clarissa is discussing why Tasha are curious. She's having a conversation with Jacob, right? Talking about Tasha and her abruptly leaving. She feels like the church was still treating Tasha as she was the first lady, right? And she is announcing that she intends to take her rightful place at Triumph. She's taken not only Tasha's office and Tasha's responsibilities, but she is the first lady at church, and she wants people to finally understand and accept her as that. Because she's been basically, I mean, she hasn't worked there. She hasn't been there working with them daily, right? Okay. Next thing we saw is a Rochelle Cross. Okay. Okay, so Rochelle Cross and Grace are talking to this girl. Now I don't know how to say her name. Coraline, maybe. Coraline, this white lady who killed her husband, her abusive husband, in bed. She was prepared to take this deal that the DA was offering her for 20 years in prison. If she fights the charges, then she could get life and never see her children again. Although she's talking about doing 20 years, when she did finally get out, and kids they will be out of the house for sure. They would not be children anymore; they would be adults. So their first Grace tries to talk her out of it, but we see Rochelle Cross steps in. It's hard to determine what her motives are. Are her motives sincere with this legal defense fund and this woman's plight? Because at times she seems sincere, and at times, of course, we suspect her being conniving in everything she does. Say good morning. Hi, Saints. How you doing, Saints? What you doing? Where they at, Daddy? Hi, Saints. I see you in there. What you doing? Do the dance. Do the dance. Do the dance. Okay. So, what was I talking about? Yeah, so we can't tell. Apparently, Rochelle Cross came out of the system, right? The system that her kids will wind up in. And she's telling her how awful it was to have no family, to have no mother, to be shifted from house to house, and it would not be great for her children. So this girl is making her decision, not because of her own selfish need to be with her family and so forth, but because of the kids themselves. To take a chance, roll the dice, and see if she can be reunited with her kids and be a family. So Rochelle is talking her into that, but Grace picks up on something when she said that. She was saying that she was from that system, that local GPS system, or not GPS, whatever you call it, when they take care of the kids in foster care, right? Okay. So Gigi has a hint. So she takes that to her boyfriend, Darius, and asks him to look into her background in the system to find any Rochelles that were in the system. He narrows it down to 3, and there was only one that could be their Rochelle, and he gives her the last name. They go and visit this woman, and they find out the last name of the Rochelle that they think could be their Rochelle. And they figure, Grace figures, the that Rochelle was from the family of the man who was killed in the church fire, which the bishop started to collect insurance money. Right? She puts together that this is basically Skank's half sister. Okay. Okay, a new accountant. There's a new accountant at Triumph because Tasha was keeping the books, right? They have since she's gone, they have a new accountant. The accountant are saying that there's something wrong with the books. A couple of scenes later, he tells us that there's $200,000 that has been shifted from Triumph's accounts into this other Church Without Walls kind of place. And then the money moved out of that account. So they've discovered now that someone's been stealing big time to the tune of $200,000. Tasha's gone, and now they're trying to contact Tasha, but Tasha is in a drunken stupor. Right? Let me not get ahead of myself here, okay? So far, we know the money's gone. Zora suspects. This fool, Isaiah. Zora's in the studio with this dude, right? Isaiah. At some point, she notices that all these women are still calling him like fans of his, whatever, and they're asking about her. She said, he's not acknowledging her as being his girlfriend. She gets an attitude about it. But at the same time, during that same interview, her text message thing goes off, right? So she silences it. But when he's through with his interview, he can see that he's very mean to her. He's saying, "You're making a lot of mistakes lately." And she's terrified he's going to punch her in the face. So we all know that's coming. Perhaps we're getting a glimpse of what the last episode is going to be like. Anyway. But, yeah, she's been contacting the school. I forget what school it is. Good college. And he's telling her, "Too bad you can't go. I need you to be here on this tour with me." He said, "Why you need me so bad? You don't even acknowledge me as your girlfriend." "Well, maybe if you could be worthy of being my girlfriend." This punk. Ooh, I'd like to cold cock that dude. But maybe we'll get treated to that at the end. Charity, there's this new music guy there. I guess he's there for some kind of project. And Charity is checking him out, and he's checking her out and all that. But he says, "Oh, I didn't realize you were married." He said, "No, I'm not married. I'm divorced. My husband was gay." And he reveals himself being homophobic. "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you, for the deception." And he's still deceiving himself. All this ain't even met the man. Don't even know what he looks like. He's deceiving himself and all this bullshit, right? And to Charity's credit, well, first of all, they don't go on the first date. But on the second time he calls her for the date, for a date, she confronts him about that. She says, something you said about my ex-husband, that is still the father of my child. Something about him deceiving himself and all that. And he said, "Well, he's deceiving himself." All that religious garbage. Meanwhile, he's trying to put it in her. She says, "No, you know what? This ain't for me. This is not going to work." I'm so glad they didn't have this girl jumping on the first man that came along. It seems to be a pattern with Charity. She's trying so desperately to find someone to love. But she identified, she's learned this much about the gay experience, that a lot of that rhetoric is simply bigotry and bullshit. All right, so she checks him. They don't go on no date. He's out of the picture. He had him a short roll. Lionel calls May. Now, this is the thing that kills me about Miss Lady May. She is so angry with this man who she's now divorced because he had an affair with her sister, I don't know, somewhere between 20 and 30 years ago. He was having a little affair with Mavis, right? This has made her divorce him 20, 30 years later. Meanwhile, she had this affair with Lionel, which happens to be Bishop's best friend. I mean, their best friend. So at the same time she's convicted him of having a relationship with her sister, she was having an affair with his best friend. Aren't they both equally as nasty? I think they're both equally as nasty, to tell you the truth. Be quiet. Everybody has secrets. So it's not yet been explained to me why she's even divorcing him. Apparently, him and Rochelle have not even had an official affair. So it's all because of he had sex with Mavis. At the same time while he's screwing this man's best friend. Anyway. And that plot really does thicken. In a few moments, I'm holding back. Okay, next thing we see is Rochelle. She done went over to Tasha's house. Tasha still got a nice crib. It's like a condo. She goes over there and she didn't know that Tasha had quit Triumph, right? Tasha says, I quit. And Rochelle says, are you going to take a chance on somebody finding out what we've done? Get yourself together, gal. And Tasha is drunk as a skunk. She's full, drinking, I think it's Jack Daniels, square bottle. And she throws this woman out of her house. Get the hell out. Okay. She said, what would Basie think? Fuck Basie. I'm sure they didn't use the F word there, but that's the same sentiment. The hell with Basie. As far as I know, he's dead. She believes he's dead, right? This girl, Tasha, throws her out of her house. Get out. I'm surprised. I thought sure that woman's going to jump on that girl physically. Particularly when she's falling down drunk. But she didn't. She left. Next thing we see is Carissa. Carissa is calling Tasha now to find out about this $200,000. Something is seriously wrong with Triumph's finances. She calls her, and Tasha's still slobbery drunk, so I guess all this takes place in a day. And Tasha tells her, I'm sorry. I'm a good person. Maybe I'm not a good person. It only happened once. He said, what? Are you drunk? This is Carissa. Are you drunk? Are you high? I'm a good person. I know I'm a good person. It was only a kiss. So now this girl, she called her to talk about the money, right? But this girl doesn't confess now that there was a kiss. Oh, so that's why you left, right? She immediately goes home and terrorizes Jacob, calling him sick, twisted. Jacob saying that not that much happened. It was just a kiss, whatever. The girl is left. And I mean, it's some marriage. That could have been a momentary thing. She's out. So Carissa, she said, you haven't changed. You basically a piece of shit and a sick person, right? What happened there? As she's letting him have it about this dalliance of his, a new accountant walks in. He interrupts. He didn't knock on the door. So they said, no. Tell us what you got to tell us. And he tells them about $200,000. Okay. We cut from that scene and right into May visits Lionel in the hospice. It's not a long scene. She goes and visits him. He opens the door and he says, I need to talk to you. And May says, so what do you want to talk about, Lionel? I don't want to talk about us. I want to talk about my daughter. I believe he said my daughter. He could have said our daughter, but it's the same thing. I want to talk about my daughter, which would be this, at the same time she was having this affair with Lionel. Apparently, unless there's some major twist they got here, Lionel is Grace's father. So this is why this woman has hated Grace for her entire life. Now, I thought that perhaps I thought perhaps the maid wasn't her mother, because the mother, why would you hate your own daughter? The father is the one that's not biological child, so Bishop's not even related to Grace. He never adopted her, so you just be a stepfather kind of thing. Anyway, we got a glimpse of what's going to happen next week. This Grace is actually Lionel's daughter, and he's dying. They show us in the previews there's going to be some real drama behind that. But we've been wondering for 3 seasons why that girl, what was wrong with their relationship, and why does she hate her so much and resent her so much? Now we know. Although it's still her daughter, it came out of her body. No, there's no mistaking in that. Unless she hated Lionel so bad, there was no indication of that either, that she would hate his offspring. Okay, Michael calls. Quiet! Jimmy! Squeenie! I'm sorry. His name is Squeenie. Okay. Grace and Darius. Okay. Grace goes and tells Bishop what she's found out. What her and Darius have found out. That this girl, Tasha, who he has given all of his personal money, no doubt the church's money, and even the joint accounts with May. He's given all his money to buy cryptocurrency over to this woman. Be quiet. Over to Rochelle, right? They don't give us a scene there. They kind of cut to the next scene, but they're about to find out about this money. They've been hidden. It's been a double header here. They've been clearing out Triumph's money, and also clearing out all the bishop's money, the church's money, and even Lady May's money. It's all in the hands of this girl, Rochelle Cross. Jimmy, please be quiet. Okay. Next thing we see is Rochelle now has shown up back at the door, and Tasha is hot. She's drunk. She's falling down, sloppy drunk. And she said, bitch, I don't know if she used the word B-I-T-C-H or not. Essentially, that's what the sentiment is. I told you, I don't want to be bothered with you. I'm through. I'm done. She snatches the door open. She got a big lamp in her hand. She's going to crack this girl in the head, Rochelle in the head, right? And so Rochelle said, oh, you're done. And she steps out of the way. And in pops the head of the devil. Basis skanks. That's where we left it. Be quiet, please. That's where we left it, people. There's all kind of possibilities of what's going to happen next. But they are wrapping this thing up. And we're not going to be strung along for another season. This is an excellent show. I love the writing in this. And so next week is going to be really, really a powerhouse. Right? What's Basie up to? Is he going to go in there and whoop her? Because Rochelle wouldn't called him on her to control his ex. They got to try to get that money and get out of town. All kinds of possibilities. 3 episodes left. See you next week.